Laredo, take us out.
Take out.
Every Friday night, join the fun and let's go OffWorld. Geek out with us live, where the nerdiness will thrive. Buckle up and let's go OffWorld. Toys, comics, pop culture news, movies, and so much more. Matthew, Jesse, Curtis, and Sean are your guides on this fun-filled tour. Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go OffWorld. Let's go OffWorld. Let's go OffWorld. Hey, hey, hey. Let's go OffWorld tonight.
Woo-hoo! We're back. Another Friday, another OffWorld, this time with 100% less douche. So, at least currently. I am Curtis. I wouldn't say your host, but I'm the guy in the first spot right now. With me is Jesse. Jesse, how you doing?
Hi. I'm here.
You are here.
So
Right.
I got that going for me.
Just a little behind the scenes for everybody. While the music was playing, Jesse had his hair pulled back, and then he pulled it out, and it was majestic as anything I've ever seen in my life. Hair was flowing. It looked like I don't know. It was like a White Snake video or something. It was impressive. So there you go.
You might want to.
I'm a bald guy,
Either
so I'm
check-
green with envy.
You might want to check your meds or get on some meds if that's what you saw when I pulled my ponytail out.
He even did like the head shake, like they do in the video, like
Not.
the slow motion head shake.
I deliberately tried not to do that.
And we got Joe Gonzalez. Joe, how you doing, sir?
Very good, very good. That theme song still makes me happy every time I listen to it.
I hear you, right? I tell you what, Jeremy DeWitt can belt out a song. Yeah, he kills it. So we just need to get your name slid in there. So we got some work to do because we got to figure out. I guess there's only at least with the version of StreamYard we have, you can only have 4 admins. And right now, like it's me, Dooch, Jesse, and Sean. But I don't know how long Sean's going to be gone, if it'd be beneficial to give you admin so that you can at least get in, because I'm having to send you the link each time. I don't know, or if there's another way that we can get an extra admin slot. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we also need to like record you just saying Joe, and then we'll just play that like over the rest of the song.
Joe. Yeah, or I could just change my name to Sean.
That'll work too.
Problem solved. Yeah.
Well, we don't have Dooch yet, but we do have some folks in the chat. I guess they had nothing better to do on a Friday night. We've got Dave.
Nothing better to do on a Friday night than hang out with us.
Okay. We've got Dave working. We've got Jordan out there, Vans out there, Stacy Lynn, Jacob Forna. Appreciate you guys being on, and thank you. And we're sorry. Yeah. I was talking to Van and Jordan earlier, and they said they were talking about because apparently there's a new Cosmic show just came out today too. It's Schmerber Burger and somebody else are doing a Cosmic show now, but it's
nice.
It's recorded, so they release it on Fridays. Jeffrey, and but they record it earlier in the week. And so they were talking about between that and OffWorld and Legion's chat, just a lot of entertainment on Fridays. And I was like, well, there's a lot of hours of stuff. I don't know how much entertainment it is. I said, I really don't recommend anybody watching our show. I think it was Jordan. Yeah, Jordan was like, well, why don't you guys change up the format if it's not something that you would watch? I'm like, because it's just us guys hanging out. Like if people like it, that's cool. But I I don't know. It's just us hanging out. So if you enjoy this, hey, great. We appreciate you being here. But no promises because, yeah.
Well, I enjoy this enough that I've been promoting it on other shows. So
it's crazy, man.
Let's entertain.
You're even hitting the social medias. We even got the post up for it like a day beforehand and pinned it in our Legend Daddy group and everything.
You guys are on point this week.
Which is another thing. We haven't really talked about the Legend Daddy group lately. If you're not in the Facebook Legend Daddy group, go in there because that's where we talk about all things related to Just Shelve It, related to OffWorld, related to Legends of Grayskull. So yeah, check that out.
I don't know if what we've done this week would be on point. It might be slightly sharper than other weeks, but I don't know if it's on point.
Yeah, definitely. I get what you're saying.
Well, or not as blunt.
If you set the bar low, you don't have to try that hard to get over it, right?
Well, that's what I really liked about Dooch put a promo out there earlier, and he really sold it.
He did.
Did you guys catch that?
I did.
Trying to figure out the wording on it he used.
That's okay. You don't have to read it again. I mean,
if you like hearing middle-aged men, man children talk about TV shows and toys, have I got a show for you? Also, I'm a dog, apparently. There you go.
I mean, nothing about that is inaccurate.
Yeah, well,
I made him the dog because he's got like 6 dogs or 2 or something.
Well,
he's more than 0 for sure.
He's dog meat specifically, not a dog apparently.
Yeah. I like all your choices. I like all your choices with the promo pick, with the exception of we've now broken the trend and Joe is no longer the girl. So it was a good run though.
I'm pretty sure I've been a girl on more than Joe has.
Yeah, if you add up all the appearances, you're right. But percentage wise, if you look at all of Joe's appearances, I'm pretty sure percentage wise he's got you. But if you're looking at sheer numbers,
the Baroness every time, because I look good in leather. Let's be honest. Yeah.
Baroness, Black Widow, any kind of way that we can fit you in there. So
black leather.
There you go.
Joe G, it goes together. It's like I don't know, chocolate and peanut butter.
There you go. Well, let's talk some toys. You know what? I normally go last. I'm gonna just go ahead and since I'm already in the first position, I'm gonna go first. So first things first, I'm going to show off a toy that's not mine, but it's on the desk. It's my wife's, and this is one of the chocolate angels from D13 Toys. They're a little exclusive that they had going on for Easter.
Very cool.
This thing is very cool. The articulation on these bodies is really impressive. If anybody's out there that has, contributed to that Kickstarter and you're waiting on your figs, let me just tell you, the articulation is awesome. The soft goods are really good. It's got a wire around the bottom as well as around the sleeves. I like the feel of it. But yeah, the body really got me. Like just the poses that you can get with this thing are pretty impressive. So made me more excited about the Kickstarter coming. So that was cool. I do need to get a pink one out there though, because Darla needs a pink one. Then
that'll be cool for angel fights though.
Yeah. Then I've been going down this rabbit hole of like old McFarlane figures that the Four Horsemen worked on. And this is Warzone, which is like a techno spawn figure thing. It's just like a warthog with a bunch of like missiles and cybernetics and all kinds of cool stuff. So yeah, he's awesome. The last two that I showed last week were awesome as well. They actually went right into my Cosmic Legions. I was going to use them for fodder. That's what I bought them for, but I just threw him right in, and this guy may go right in there too because he's just super badass looking. I like him.
That is a perilous looking porcine for sure.
Yeah, he's cool. But the next one that I got, so far I've bought 4 old Spawn figures or McFarlane figures that the Horsemen worked on. The first 3 were absolute fire. This last one I'm going to show you may be the worst figure I've ever gotten in my life. And it was so bad that I had to reach out to Cornboy and let him know how terrible this figure is. This is the Spawn Series 5 Tremor 2, which has this like pump on the top, which is very well concealed, as you can see, that you push down, and it's supposed to like shoot like this like blood and guts and weird shit through these tubes and stuff. But it doesn't do anything. And this was a new. It wasn't like I bought this used. This was brand new in package. Now, granted, it's from 1996. So, but I was like, and it had like 0 instructions on it. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to add some fluids to it or whatever. And then it turns out like, no, it just came with some junk in it, and you hit this and it was just supposed to go around, but it does nothing. On top of that, from the waist, which is just a swivel waist, like no extra, whatever. From the waist down, there's 0 articulation, and I mean 0. There's nothing, no knee, no feet, no toe kick, McFarlane toe kick, no nothing. On the top part, you've got like when you try to move the arm because of those tubes, like you get like no movement on the arms because the tubes get in the way. This hand has this thing. It's like a feature on the back of the box that this arm extends out. That's how far it extends. That's the action feature. That extends like, what, 1/4 of an inch, a 1/2 inch.
If something's just out of reach, though. Yeah.
And it's got like no articulations in the arms, no articulation here. Head doesn't even move. So yeah, it's an absolute terrible figure. But I got it because it looks cool. I just think the design is really neat. The look is cool. But the actual figure sucks. And Cornboy actually responded, which I kind of figured he would, because I knew what he was going to say with this, which is that, they designed it a certain way. And then because of the action features, because of the other things that they wanted to get in there, they had to kind of change their design and dumb it down a bit to make it work for what they were trying to do, including like the lower legs. He said the reason there's like no articulation is because they wanted to have a solid base, so that if you were just had this thing on a table or something and you're pressing down on this, that it would hold up. It wouldn't like give in. So I get it. And it's something that I've heard him talk about some other toys too. Like one of the things, if you ever get to go to the studio, any questions on this stupid thing first before I put away?
Are those Ethernet cables on the back?
It's similar actually. There's these like plugs. So they actually came in the package, and they just got these little 2 dots, and then they go right into his butt. There's two buttholes, and you just plug it right in there. So
like a monkey with 2 asses.
Yeah.
Are you tempted at all to pull that plunger off the top and just blow in there and see what happens?
No, I'm not going to blow in his hole. I know that's how you resuscitate chickens.
You got to jump start them.
But that's I don't think I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to small in myself real quick. So if you ever get a chance to go to the studio, they've got these amazing 2-ups of the Motu 2000X series. And I never liked the Motu 2000X figures. The designs are cool, but the articulation makes them just not good figures. And there's some things, if you actually get to the studio and get to see their 2-ups, like the designs that they did for those are absolutely amazing. Like the 2-up Stratos is fantastic, but the Stratos that they actually produced is terrible. So and it's one of those things where it's like, these guys at the time, they weren't running their own thing. They're just doing like the design work and stuff. And so they're coming up with these ideas, but then, whoever it is, whether it's McFarlane, Mattel, whoever's coming over the top and going, yeah, well, we wanted to do X, Y, and Z. We want to add all these extra features in there or do this and that. and it really messes with the design, and it really made me appreciate the Legion's lines more now that they get final say in what they want to do, because now they can, now they can focus on the design and make it as cool as they want and put in whatever articulation. And if there's certain kind of, they don't really do action features, but if there's certain kind of features that they want with it, they can do it without killing the design. So, anyway, that was just my little rant on that.
Sure. I don't know if I could be more impressed with what the Horsemen are doing right now, to be honest.
Exactly. Well, I didn't think I could be until I got this crappy figure. And then I was like, well, I'm glad that they don't have Todd or somebody else telling them that they need to dumb down their things. The last thing I got, which is the coolest thing of the week, and I'll be honest, I almost threw this away. Len sent me a package, and I didn't even realize that it was in the package. We had been talking about it, I think, in one of our Offworld shows not too long ago, about toys that were like special giveaways or whatever. And this is the Slog Master from Captain Crunch. There was a little thing that they had going on where they had these Soggies and the Sog Master, and then you had Captain Crunch, and it was like a whole thing on, do you eat your Captain Crunch when it's fresh, like you just pour it and eat it right away, and it tastes like, it's like eating fiberglass, or do you wait for it to get amazing and just a little sogginess to it and then slurp it down? And I was a Sog guy, and so I'm a very big fan of the Sog Master. I appreciate Len for sending it, but it was in the box and I almost threw this away, and I would have been very sad if I found out about it later that I tossed it. So, but yeah, this one's getting a special place in my collection. So
right on. That's awesome. Now, I personally cut the roof of my mouth, but that's cool that you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to each their own. I don't like having to go to the ER after I eat a bowl of cereal, but
I just man up. Yeah.
Yeah, for someone who eats raw potatoes, something seems hanky.
Raw potatoes don't tear up the roof of your mouth, though.
Yeah, but they taste like potatoes.
Pouring a bowl of Captain Crunch and immediately eating it is like just chewing on broken glass. Like that's, I mean, granted, it tastes amazing. Yeah, it's like it's like cracking broken glass, but still.
Right.
I mean, there's these things in my mouth called teeth that I use to chew them.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, but you don't do them one at a time, right? You do a spoonful, and so then while you're chewing, some of it just carves up the roof of your mouth. So
no worse than potato chips or crunchy stuff.
I don't like them either, really. But anyway, I digress.
Okay.
We are going to go to Jesse next with his luscious flowing hair. Jesse, what you got for us?
I'm shaving my head for next week. No.
Oh, boo.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Y'all are weirdly obsessed with my hair. So I got some stuff today. I'm going to show off some of the accessories first. So a couple of hands.
I'm sorry. What does that say under your name?
Meat Popsicle.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Have you not seen Fifth Element?
Those, yes. Those look like turtle hands, I'm guessing.
They do. They sure do. And then there's a little parrot.
Okay. All right.
And a pizza.
Nice.
I'm building the suspense. That's what's going on here. And a little VHS tape.
Is this
for those of you who don't
go ahead
know what a VHS is? It's a thing we used to watch before Blu-rays and DVDs.
You don't know what a VHS is? You should be in bed already. This is too late for you.
No, Jordan, I don't have to now. It was a joke. I can say things and not hold myself accountable to them when they're not meant to be taken seriously. TV guidebook.
Oh, all right.
And I think this is supposed to be like pizza dough all over a head.
Oh, okay. Like if they were making it and it fell on their face, but somehow their eyes came through. Okay.
Yeah. And that all comes with the what are they calling it? The Pizza Club NECA Ninja Turtle. Raphael is cool but rude because I don't have the cartoon version that they put out of these a couple of years ago. So I picked him up.
I gotta say, Jesse, I know I've seen it in comics and I've seen it on the cartoon. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody have their Raph hold their Psy like that in a figure.
Almost every single one of mine that can do that is doing that with at least one hand.
That's interesting. I like it.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Thank you. And this one was nice. Like the Psy is a little, it's not brittle. It's not as bad as those the DC Direct Ninja Turtle Batman ones where they were like practically 3D printed stuff that if you twisted it the wrong, but his fingers have some good flexibility to them. So it was not too bad to get in there.
Cool.
I've been wanting to get this for a while and I saw it on sale. So I picked up the Kersantin Black Series.
Nice.
The show version, which it was really lame that they called the first one the comic book version because the show version looks exactly like the comic book version. So I think that was them trying to be lazy. And then when there was such an outcry, they're like, oh, okay, I guess we'll make a better one. And then the last two things I got.
Wait, I have a question, Jesse.
Yes.
That he's a little bit bigger than the normal Black Series, right?
I don't have my Chewbacca handy, but yeah, he's I think he's supposed to be taller than
he looks
Chewie.
Chunky. How does he scale with Legions?
I do happen to have a Legion right here.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. All right.
Interesting.
Just curious.
Yeah,
you said you found him on sale. Is that like in the wild or online?
At Walmart, yeah. It was down. It was down to $27. It was practically a regular Black Series price instead of the 35 deluxe version, because he comes in a massive box, but all he comes with is this gun.
Huh?
No alternate hands, no other accessories, just the figure and the gun. Like for
Is
a
it
company
a
that was
box?
trying to be so
I
for a company
also I need to throw something out here while I remember. Apparently on these shows, a lot of times people will say things and I'll go, huh? And the Van and Jordan really like that. They like when I go, huh? So just FYI.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that I did that until they started making fun of me. But if you see those in chats like this, that's just them making fun of me.
Okay.
So, just FYI.
All right. Okay.
I don't know where I was going with that, but the last two things, these were two. I get I don't always get them, but every now and then I'll grab a couple of the Lego minifigure blind boxes. So I keep waiting for the D&D wave, but I think I saw this week that they're not coming out till like September or something. So
like from the movie?
No, they've done a D&D Lego set, like a massive set, but they're doing individual like the blind bags that you can grab at the checkouts.
But when you say D&D, is it referencing like the old toys, like
it's licensed D&D, so it's like their creatures. I don't know if any of there might have been one that was there might be a Strahd. I don't remember all the characters. Like they had a list of them, but they're all like D&D creatures and beings, and like they might not be like named characters, but
they're trademark ones, right? Like beholders and stuff.
Yeah, they're official. They're official D&D. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because like the big set has like a red dragon and a beholder, and I think maybe a mimic. I don't remember. It's out of my price range and space range for a Lego set. But in the meantime, the current wave is out. I've gotten a couple, but today I got the little mushroom kid. Can't see her face. She's got like her eyes are closed and she's smiling, and she's got a little butterfly, and she's got like the little half size legs. And then one I was excited to get, and when I saw it, I was even more excited to reveal it tonight, because it's basically if Joe shaved his beard. He's got the big black mustache and the beard, and he's whistling, and he's a goat herd.
Nice.
Hey,
whatever floats your goat.
I don't like goats, but yeah.
But I do.
Cool.
So I have now
so now you've got a Joe and a goat together.
I've got a Joe peasant character with a goat that will go with the my other kind of like medieval D&D type Lego figures that I have.
I am very much a peasant, so that fits actually.
Well, you're not a peasant, but that Lego minifigure is.
9 to 5.
Well,
In medieval times, I would totally.
All right,
be a
now that
serf.
you've
That's
called out
cool.
attention to this thing, I'm hearing it, and it's making me want to cut lips off, like the people who whistle at work all day. I'm sorry, that's my problem.
how do you
but
think
now
I
I've
feel?
noticed it.
It's me doing it. I didn't realize that I was
People
even
that
doing this
whistle at
thing
work.
until
The poor
It's like-
seven
I have
dwarves.
2 coworkers that whistle. We're not minors. We work in a warehouse. And even with both of my earplugs in, I hear them, and I just it drives me nuts.
imagine that you never knew that you wore flannel, and then one day somebody just let you know, like, hey, by the way, do you realize that you're always wearing flannel? And then you're like, shit, I do. They're right, and I never noticed it before. That's what it's
No,
like.
I'm not accusing you. I'm just saying now that it's been pointed out, I hear it, and
Yeah,
it's like
they've
when
made you hate me. I
if you
get
hear
it.
that. If
It's
I
cool.
don't hate you, if you hear that high, I just want to cut your lips off. If you just hear that high pitched squeal in the background because like some air conditioning duct isn't right,
I don't.
yes, I'm
hate
talking
you. I
like that's a
just want to
completely
cut
normal
your
thing to
lips
say.
off.
If that's not a line in the new Joker movie, I'm going to be.
Yeah, I don't hate you. I just want to cut your lips off. Okay. All
You
right. Fair to partly cloudy.
know, so I love it when people point out annoying sounds to me because then, you know, I don't have any mental health problems. That
See,
make
now I'm
that-
finding myself in the middle of getting ready to say and like stifling my hms. And it's going to, yeah, that was a fake one to illustrate what but
No, I got
yeah.
you. I'm okay now. It just like, well, like you and I, we used to always say absolutely, and there you go. So
I can't say anything now. I can't say I can't say absolutely. I can't say there you go. You've taken my whole vocabulary away. I'm gonna have to start like reading. This is ridiculous.
Nothing that you guys say bothers me. So use your entire
Thanks, Joe.
vocabulary
My
in and
whole head is
haw as
tingling
you
right
see
now.
fit.
Do you want to explain, Joe, why you will not be shaving your beard? I know you and I had a talk last week, but maybe the folks in the chat and Jesse would like to know.
Okay, yeah, sure. I can say that. It'll reveal a little bit about my personality as well. So the reason that my beard isn't a full beard is because I work around cristobalite, crystalline silica, and I have to be able to wear a respirator. And to wear a respirator and have it seal correctly, you know, the rubber has to meet the road. So I have to shave it down here. I hate shaving my neck, so I started growing this beard, and the bosses at my work hate it. But I always pass my respirator fit tests. Taking care of this beard sometimes is a lot of work, and I've contemplated shaving it, but then my bosses would feel like they won because I shaved my beard, and I can't stand that. So I'm stuck with the beard because I can't let my bosses have a one-up on me.
I just love that.
Basically what it is. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I might keep it forever.
You know, it's just like how I didn't think I could appreciate Four Horsemen more until I got this crappy McFarlane figure. I didn't know that I could appreciate Joe Gonzalez more until I heard him being petty as fuck.
Right. I like to think of it as, you know, anti-authoritarian, but you know,
yeah, that works too.
Petty AF works as well.
Yeah. Joe, what do you got for this week?
So I actually had a slow week because I realized on Wednesday that I had some items in my pile of loot and forgot to ship them. So those things will be on next week's show. But I did have some things that I picked up last week that I didn't show off.
I'm sorry, but Dorklayer says shave it off, but save it and glue it to the respirator. That is funny.
Yeah. It's like flocking. I would be flocking my respirator. So.
Yeah, that's flocking. Right, you would.
Right. But when Lynn had that big sale on his site, I picked up a couple more Lee J from Wolf King Customs.
Yep.
Because I cannot express enough how impressed with this figure I am. I love the helmet. I love the gold armor. I love the options. Just a fantastic figure all the way around. So I got two of these. I'm only showing off one because I can't find the other
I
one.
haven't opened one yet. I do love the figure. I love the look of it. I need to open one, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
You're gonna enjoy it. That
Yeah.
I didn't. I mean, I liked the look of it, but I didn't love the figure until I played with it.
Mm.
You know, and nothing, no jokes. Okay,
Nope,
but
nope,
you
you're
know,
good.
that's okay. All right. Yeah, but you know, it's just such an amazing figure to mess around with. You know, trying that helmet on different heads and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's just really fun, and I highly recommend anybody that doesn't have one, if you can, pick one up because it is just a joy to play with. So, and then I had actually forgotten that I got this, but I picked up the Captain Hammerhand
Oh,
Super
all right.
7 figure. I just really like the look of it. I don't remember this character from the cartoon, but I haven't rewatched Thundercats as an adult. So
Are you collecting that line or just kind of picking up some here and there?
I'm kind of just picking up some here and there. When they go on sale, it's hard for me to pass up on them because I actually like the figures and I like the property. It just, you know, I kind of did the same thing as a kid, though. I wasn't all in on Thundercats. I just, you know, grabbed figures that caught my attention. So,
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm pretty much only all in on Mythic Legions and, well, Four Horsemen product, I should say.
Right.
But that figure, I think it's a cool figure. So I grabbed that one. And someday, if my kids ever leave the darn house, I'm going to have room to display my Motu Classics.
72.
But you have to leave. You're going to leave your own house, just. Anyways, so I'm going to display my classics, and I like to pick up figures that I think will look good with my classics collection. So someday, maybe.
Gotcha.
I haven't gotten to the point where I'd actually kick them out just to display my toys, but you know, we'll see when I get older and grouchier.
I'm definitely going to do that at some point.
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah.
And then the last, but definitely not least, I got from a Kickstarter, the Dungeons of Drakkenheim, Sebastian Crow's Guide to Drakkenheim, which this is a supplement, a third-party supplement for Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
I did the original Kickstarter for the campaign setting, and then I got this, and I'm it's like taking standard D&D and kind of giving it like an eldritch horror vibe to it, which is really cool. It's from some YouTubers called the Dungeon Dudes, a couple of Canadian guys.
So for those of us not in the know, is that a book?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is.
All right.
So I actually have
Curtis immediately lost interest.
Well, I thought, I mean, we're doing like cool, awesome pickups, and this guy brings in a book. I don't.
It's a
go ahead.
D&D adventure expansion book. That's freaking awesome.
Okay.
It has a cloth map, and I got like it comes with spell cards and something called arcane anomalies because there's like a stone that can mutate people. So.
I'm sorry, Joe.
No, you're fine. And it actually comes.
I guess you're a warlock. You're not a wizard, so you don't need
two books. So
wow,
nice.
That's
they're pretty cool, and they're done by Ghostfire Gaming, which I'm of course gonna forget the name of theirs. They have like a horror setting that they're pretty famous for that I'm going to forget the name of. But what's interesting is I took part in the original Kickstarter and got the setting and then got this expansion, and apparently I lost the setting because I looked everywhere that I could think to look and I can't find the books for the setting. So this might be just a coffee table book.
And when you say the setting, what
like forks on the left or on the right, knife and spoon on the left, cup off to the top right.
Drakenheim
the game
in the
setting,
middle.
like the land, the realm, the setting of the story.
Okay.
Like
So
I was
for
trying to do that one that was setting. The setting would have been Mythos that we were trying to
Mhm.
do. That's the setting.
Okay.
Yeah, like regular D&D, you know, D&D is the system, but you play in like the Forgotten Realms or Dragonlance, Dark Sun. Those are settings, like worlds with it that you play the game in. So, and that's what Drakenheim is. And yeah, and I lost the main book. So hopefully it'll turn up one day. But yeah, that's my pickups.
So that's we're done with the trip to the library.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't buy a
He's
lot
just
of
being
books.
sassy with you tonight, Joe. I've shown off a book on this show before, and he didn't get this.
Listen,
squirrely.
I think Curtis feels betrayed a little bit, you know.
I do.
That I would have a book. Yeah.
I do.
On his show.
There's some things that like I never had interest. I really wasn't playing any video games, and Joe kept talking about Baldur's Gate and talking about it, and I was like, okay, fine. I tried it, and it was amazing. He was talking about this Halo the series, and I was like, I only played the game like one time for 5 minutes. I don't think this is going to interest me, and I watched it. And I loved it. And it's like he keeps pushing my boundaries just a little bit further, and now he throws a book out there, and I'm like, I see what this has been leading to, and I'm just not going there. So I appreciate the effort, but try with somebody else, because I'm not doing it. I'm not falling for it.
Well, you want to play D&D, but D&D is reading and math. It was created by nerds, like real nerds. Yeah.
Am I misunderstanding what this segment is? Like, am I supposed to want to buy the stuff you're picking up, Curtis?
Well, everybody, dude, hold on. It's the Sogmaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who doesn't want that?
I don't. I have the Captain Crunch one. But if someone gave me that, I'd be pretty stoked. Because I had that
one, huh?
I had that when I was a kid. They were fun. I liked the whole story.
You got the Captain Crunch?
We've established I liked the crunchy cereal.
We're mortal enemies, just so you know.
Okay. I mean,
so you know.
I'm lactose intolerant. I can't play your game with you guys. I'm sorry.
Why did that bell chime right when you said, what is happening?
What is the bell?
I don't know if you guys can hear it. There's a church bell ringing.
Oh, okay.
That never happens. I'm very worried right now.
Oh, don't. If it's the rapture, we're safe.
No, that's a trumpet.
JG has asked a really good question. Who's going to read the Mythic Legion book to Curtis? Jesse has already volunteered to do that. So yeah, he is going to read it if they don't put out an official audio version read by Malcolm Kennedy. So just FYI.
Right. Oh, and I will mention really quickly that Mysteries of Mythos would be an awesome name for a Mythic Legions D&D supplement. Just
nice.
Say that.
Yeah, I tried playing once, but the DM quit on me. He was like, I can't take this guy. He's too much.
Yeah, that's 100%. That's exactly how it happened. I was there. I saw it.
Yeah. Pretty much. He's like, this guy won't read. He doesn't want to learn the rules. He just wants to come in and be funny. And yeah, I'm done. And I was like, okay, well, it is what it is. It was fun while it lasted.
He was funny.
Touche, Joe. Touche.
Zing.
So,
all right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, folks, I'll kind of go through a little bit of the agenda / Dooch agenda for the day. We don't have this in order, but obviously we're going to do our normal, this week in theaters, where we're going to go back in time and pick out a movie. We do have some Event Horizon stuff that we need to discuss, including the new Joker trailer. And then we were going to talk about some Fallout. And then I think it's going to be a shorter show than normal, but we also have some stuff that we're going to record after the show that you guys won't be here for. So just FYI. And since Dooch isn't here, I guess we'll start with This Week in Theaters, or do you guys want to go to Event Horizon? Which one?
I have no preference.
This week in theaters. Okay.
I mean, we're already at 40 minutes, so I don't think we're going to have a problem hitting 2 hours.
Okay. 1982 to 2000.
Especially if you read off the plot synopsis for each of the movies and tell us the top 10 cast in each one.
Man, it sounds like Jesse's getting a little I don't know, feisty.
Trevor made fun of us for having a long show, so I could see where we'd be a little sensitive about that.
Yeah. Listen,
we've got 19 people watching right now, which I think is a record for this show.
I would feel bad about running long and making these people sit through this if I didn't had already told them. Yes, that was good English. If I didn't had already told them, don't watch this fucking show. Like if I hadn't already told everybody in this chat, this is not a show that you should watch, then I would feel bad for stringing them out for 2-3 hours. But signed
you
up
said
for
that, and now we have the highest live count we've ever had
because of Dooch's promo post.
I think it's because it's 100% less Dooch. That's what the thing is.
I don't know. It could be either one.
All right, we're going back to 2000. What did it say? 2001. All right, 2001, and we are looking for October 12th. All right, here's what we got. Number one movie in the theaters is Spy Kids. That's the kind of week this is going to be. So there you go. And I'm not going to read it because Jesse made fun of me. Next is Along Came a Spider. Morgan Freeman, some other chick.
Ashley Judd.
There you go. It's like a thriller kind of thing.
Judd.
Yeah.
No, wrong one. Yeah.
Detective thriller thing. Somebody. I don't know. We've got Blow. Looks like cartel thing. American cocaine market in the 1970s. So there you go. We've got Pokemon 3, the number 4 movie in America, actually in the world this week. Pokemon 3, the movie.
People like Pokemon.
This is the week that we're in. This is what we're doing. This is what we've chosen to do with our Friday nights, folks. Next, we've got Someone Like You.
Thank you for being here, by the way.
After being jilted by her boyfriend, talk show talent scout writes a column on the relationship habits of men, which gains her national fame. That just sounds thrilling.
Riveting.
I think that's Ashley Judd.
That's cool. They're all every movie on here is Ashley Judd. We've got Heartbreakers.
2001. Heck yeah.
Mother and daughter con team. Seduce and scam wealthy men. So Enemy at the Gates. Russian and German sniper play a game of cat and mouse during the Battle of Stalingrad.
Okay.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. We know what that is. That must be pretty, for it being that far down, 8, that must be like many, many weeks. That's 18 weeks. So, okay. The Brothers. 4 friends begin to question women and relationships when one of them announces impending nuptials. Okay. And last but not least, or maybe least, I don't know, who's to say, Tomcats. At the wedding of a friend.
I totally forgot about this movie.
The remaining bachelors bet on staying single. Several years later, which it's cut off, but 7 years later. 7 years later, one of the 2 remaining loses $51,000 in Vegas. He must get the other guy married to cash in and pay his debt or die. A cute woman helps.
Oh, so that last tagline.
That's it. That's the seller. So
I think that's a metaphor for life. So
yeah. I guess I mean the I'll just start, and the question I would ask myself is, how did Joe Dirt in the first week being released not make the top 10? Because that would have been my pick. But
it's fair.
Man, these are not great. I'm gonna see that Heartbreakers just because con team sounds interesting. I don't know. That was
That's Sigourney Weaver.
Who's
Sigourney Weaver and Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah, who's the guy? Oh shit, I'm blanking on his name.
Is it Klein?
No, it's the God, what the fuck is his name? Famous actor. It's gonna bug me. Anyway, I'm seeing Heartbreakers. I'll look up who that is. Joe, you are up next.
Boy, this is a tough one.
Freaking
Gene Hackman.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've only seen 2 movies on this list. Spy Kids, I've seen probably 100 times because my kids loved that movie and we watched it a lot. But I also think that it's a really solid flick and I do genuinely enjoy it. And Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which is also really good. So I'm gonna flip a coin. I'm gonna go see Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon just because I've seen Spy Kids so many times. So yeah.
All right. And Jesse.
Both solid movies. Enjoyed them both.
Well, I've seen on this list, what did I see? I saw Crouching Tiger. I've seen Enemy at the Gates. I've seen Someone Like You. I've seen Blow, Along Came a Spider, and Spy Kids.
All right, show off.
I've only seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon on this list. That's the only movie on this list I've seen.
I will say Someone Like You is Ashley Judd and Hugh Jackman. This was one of his first movies after X-Men.
Okay.
So that's why I wanted to watch it. It's not great. But I'd be going to see Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Seeing that on the big screen again, with the that whole theater going experience would just be really cool. Yeah.
Okay. I'm taking a look at the chat. We've got Blow was a huge movie when it came out. And then JG says
Traffic's not on the list.
Blow was pretty popular.
It's better than Blow.
I agree with that. I was only looking at the top 10.
Tiger's a lot of fun, but Traffic is the best here. But Traffic's not on the top 10. So yeah, sorry. Yeah. I mean, I didn't dislike Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but it wasn't super memorable for me. I don't even remember like the plot of it. So for that, and it's the only one on this list that I had seen, I'm not going to go back and watch a movie that I didn't care enough to even remember.
Well, I know why, because you're going to have to read it.
Yeah, that's probably the main reason for sure. So yeah, I would say that Heartbreakers, but I really wish Joe Dirt would have made it in there. So I can't believe on his first, it must have been like little amount of theaters. What was, isn't there one of those that says that? I thought there wasn't there
2,638.
Oh, yeah, that was more than most of the other ones. So yeah, it just fucking bombed.
Joe Dirt was not a big opening week movie like that. That's one that has developed a cult following.
It's good.
I don't agree with that.
All right. I mean, if we were doing,
let me rephrase.
Mhm.
I don't enjoy it. It does not mean it's not good.
Here's what I would say. I would say if you were to ask the chat and we were to go the top 15 movies, I would guess that the winner that would come out on top would be Joe Dirt. That would be my guess.
That's just because Josie and the Pussycats is number 16.
16. Yeah, I'd totally go to that.
All right. Okay.
I feel like Josie and the
That was a
Pussycats would have been
joke.
Sean's pick if he was here. Yeah.
All right.
Just saying.
Next, we've got Event Horizon. I don't have a graphic because nobody's made one, so I can't do anything with that. Let's see if I can. Do we have?
I'm working
who will
on
do this?
segment card.
That's the graphic. That's the Event Horizon graphic. So, so Event Horizon, things that are coming up. I sent you guys a 2-minute trailer for the second Joker movie. Did you guys watch it?
Yeah.
Okay. And what'd you think?
I think it looks good. Like they have kind of tried to keep the feel of the first movie, but expand upon it. I mean, it's a teaser trailer, so didn't get a bunch from it, but it looks like a movie that I would enjoy since I liked the first one.
Okay. Jesse?
I did not watch it. And it is not a movie I have any intentions on seeing.
Okay. I watched it, and I saw a lot of people very excited about it, including our good friend Jeremy DeWitt. And I will say that to me, that trailer looked like hot fucking garbage. I thought the first movie was okay. It wasn't the best version of the Joker, in my opinion, but it was, for what it was, I appreciated the film, but I didn't like lose my mind over it. And I feel like they're trying to push out something else to, capture the attention that one got and the money that it brought in. And I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to be absolute trash. And I thought the trailer for it was terrible. So sorry for anybody out there that's all excited about it. I'm not trying to yuck your yum. You enjoy it. But I think it looks very, like we talked about the Beetlejuice one a couple weeks ago, the second Beetlejuice movie. And I really had like no interest of really seeing that movie or whatever. And then I saw that teaser, and that one was only like a minute. The Joker one's like 2.5 minutes. That Beetlejuice one's like a minute long. And just from what I saw in there, I was like, I'm in. Like where can I buy tickets today? Because that looks fucking awesome. This did nothing for me. In fact, I was probably leaning more towards going and watching this second Joker movie until I saw that trailer, and now I'm like, nah, I'll wait till it's out on, streaming or whatever, and then maybe I'll check it out. So, yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Dave Ork and Chris just shitting my Captain Crunch.
Yeah, it happens. So Van's talking about, he says, I have a hard time taking Curtis's opinions about movies seriously. He had never seen Gangs of New York prior to Jordan and I pressuring him. After that, he said the movie was not very good. That's not what I said. I did watch Gangs of New York this week because Big Greg has been talking to me about watching it. He absolutely loves the movie. Jordan and Van told me to stop everything that I was doing and all the other shows that I was trying to stream and watch so that I would have stuff to talk to Jesse about so he would stay friends with me. And they said, stop all that. Watch Gangs of New York right now. I did. And it was, I watched it with Darla, and we both had the same kind of opinion, which was, it was good, but it wasn't great. It didn't blow us away. So didn't say it wasn't good. But I wasn't blown away by it. And I think that Leo should have let the Elliot from E.T. die in that fire, because that dude was a sniveling fucking piece of trash. So just FYI for any of you Gangs of New York fans. So
I'll say this. I like Gangs of New York. I think it is a very good movie. I also think it's a very long movie and is very difficult to watch. It is not one I can just pop on and enjoy. Like, I have to be in a mindset to like sit down and be prepared to go on that journey. It is like, I think I've only watched it like 2 or 3 times ever. Because I think the performances are great. The sets are great. Like it's a really well made film, but like it just leaves me pretty kind of hollow at the end. And I don't need every movie to be a feel good movie, but yeah.
It's kind of a weird one that, like, like sometimes you expect the good guys to come out on top. Sometimes you expect the bad guys to come out on top. But then, with that one, it's like nobody comes out on top. Like everybody fucking loses. And it's just, it leaves you walking away going, what the hell did I just spend, 2.5 hours watching this for none of it to really matter at the end. So
it's one of those movies, like I finished, I was like, I think I saw it by myself, and I was just like, can I get a hug?
Speaking of hugs, we've got Dooch here. What's up, Dooch?
What's up, guys?
Hey, the Dooch. That's almost hug spelled backwards.
No.
So we We just got done with This Week in Theaters. We did our pickups, and then we were starting on Event Horizon. We talked about the Joker 2 trailer, which Jesse didn't watch, Joe liked, I thought was trash. And we are continuing with Event Horizon. Do you have anything on Joker before we talk about anything else that people may be excited about?
I have never seen the original, had no desire to ever see the original. The original looked like hot trash, so I expect nothing less than even hotter trash for the sequel. So it's the no one wanted, needed, or should have been made, in my opinion.
Can I comment on that?
Of
Since
course
we're talking
you can.
about Joker. I watched the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was, again, like Gangs of New York, well filmed, well acted. I wish it wasn't tied into the DC universe. I wish it wasn't like the Joker.
Yep, like a standalone movie. Yeah,
if it was just its own movie. And I don't
Right.
like the
if it was
DC
just like
tie-ins,
a falling down type thing, like
Yeah.
with just a guy.
But the thing that ruined the movie completely for me was like the last 5 minutes of it, which if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it, but the last 5 minutes like completely ruined what I had bought into in the movie. And some people are like, oh, that's the genius of it. And I'm like, it didn't work for me.
Yeah, and now you throw Lady Gaga in the mix, which like
I have I think she's a good actress, but I have no desire to watch.
That's what I
that
mean.
Joker
Like
with
I wouldn't
that
her
version of
and
Harley
him
Quinn.
in this. No, like
They're going to act the hell out of it. But
I wouldn't have had a problem with her being in there acting, but when they start throwing musical numbers in there and stuff, I'm like, nah, you lost me.
well, the whole thing is a musical, right? Like
right,
the
it's just
entire
that's
movie is,
and that's
like,
that's what I'm saying. Like you take this like supposedly like. I mean, the first movie was like super serious, depressing, like just showing that like, you know, life can be shitty sometimes. And it's like this, and then you hit us with a second movie and it's a fucking musical and they're dancing around singing. It's like, no, man.
well, I guarantee you with Lady Gaga in it, they can make it depressing and sad as shit and still be a musical.
Yeah.
Have you seen A Star Is Born?
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't bad.
It's a good movie, but yeah, it's depressing as shit.
Anything else before we get to our main topic? Anything else that's coming up or that you guys are excited for?
I have one. Someone mentioned it earlier, and I meant to pull up a picture for it. So I think we might have mentioned this before a couple weeks ago, but it is the I don't know what picture to pull up. It's the Civil War movie, not based on the American like.
Oh, you talked about that last week, didn't you?
Yeah, you talked about
it. Was that last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like maybe right now, but yeah, that's coming out. I don't know if it's this week or next week. Or maybe it's already out right now. But yeah, it's got Kirsten Dunst, Jesse Plemons, Nick Offerman. I think it looks really intense, really good. I might actually try to go see it this weekend if it's out.
Okay. There's that I know we've talked about once in the past, but there's that movie with Alan Ritchson and Henry Cavill that's coming out.
Oh yeah,
another trailer for that looks really good.
I can't wait for
I can't remember the name of it. It's got like a long name.
This is the Ministry of Ungentlemanly like Warfare or something like that.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. And I like both of those guys as actors, so I think that should be interesting.
Yeah, it's got them. Who else? Like Isaac Gonzalez. Ministry. Nope, that's not it. That's the band.
I like Ministry. The band.
A bunch of people.
Hero finds Tiffin, Henry Golding, Carrie Elways, Isaac Gonzalez. You know Carrie Elways.
Yeah, I do.
No.
Yeah, you do.
Robin Hood.
The Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I gotcha. I don't see him in the cast there. Oh, yeah, there he is. Gotcha.
Till Schweiger, Alex Pettifer.
Petta what?
Mm-hmm.
You've probably seen some of these people in other movies, but yeah.
And when does that come out? I just saw another trailer for it, but I didn't catch the date.
Pulling that up now. Looks like. Okay, I didn't ask For the cast. When does it come out? Oh my gosh. What are these pop-up ads?
Oh,
Computers,
Jesse,
folks.
what you been on?
April 19th. No, next week. It was like a phone ad. Next week,
Okay.
the 19th.
So next Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Dooch or Joe, either you guys got anything that has popped up, whether it's a preview or a video game or anything that
I did see
a book at the library that Joe wanted to talk about?
I did see that they're developing the first R-rated TMNT movie based on the Last Ronin
I saw that too.
miniseries. Is this something we need? Like, were you guys impressed with the Last Ronin?
Yes.
Okay.
I liked it. I don't need an R-rated movie adaptation.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm like it was fine. It was a good this could be, but I'm not sure that I'm just worried that it's going to be one of those things like Dark Knight Returns where we're just going to keep going to this now. Like, I don't know. I'm torn.
I
mean, they're doing a whole Winnie the Pooh horror universe, so
well, yeah.
I mean,
public domain, baby.
I liked the idea of The Last Ronin enough that I actually read it. That's right. I read a book.
You did.
And I really enjoyed it. And I think if it's rated R just because there's, violence in it that is too much to maybe, just kind of landed as a PG-13 and it just kind of goes over the edge, then yes, I'm good. If it's rated R because they throw in some, unnecessary nudity, or they throw in like just curse words that don't need to be there just to get a certain rating, then the whole Logan that everybody loses their shit over, like just the opening part of that where they've got all the naked girls and stuff is like it to me, that just feels like, okay, this is not even part of the movie, but this is just so you could solidify having an R-rated movie to sell. And that's not cool with me. That doesn't do it. So
do we agree on Logan? Have we had this conversation?
I don't think we talked about Logan, but I feel the same way. That's another one. Like, I'm worried that it's going to become where it's like, same. I watched Logan. It's like this was just unnecessary. Like it's being dark and gritty for dark and gritty's sake, and like you said, just nudity for nudity's sake, and just to show that we're mature and edgy now. Like,
so to answer your question, for me, like, do we need this? I don't know that we need this, but I am interested in it if it's done right.
Yeah.
But if they're just going after a rating and trying to be shocking, then yeah, it could be really bad really quick.
If we see Raph with his shell off, a little turtle
thing, or whatever,
sorry, my mind went like gory, violent, like not shell off nudity, like shell off like.
No, I was picturing
viscera. Like
Raphael gets up in the middle of the night smoking a cigarette, walks in front of the window, and you see Raphael ass cheeks in the moonlight.
No, they don't take their shells off, right?
You don't know what mutant Ninja Turtles do after coitus.
In Dooch's mind, the shell is just like on the side, and he's got a wife beater on, and
pay attention.
Okay.
Why though?
All right.
Why not? Why not?
That's great if you like it. I mean, it definitely was very popular movie. Yeah. And there's parts of it I do like. But I do feel like they were adding stuff just to make a certain rating and make it a shocking R-rated movie. So yeah.
And JG brings up a point here about the OG TMNT comic. Yeah, it was more mature, and like I wouldn't mind them going down that road, honestly. But even there, like it took some time and some evolution. Like if they went more the classic comic path and got some of that crazy like Image Turtles stuff, where like Donnie becomes a cyborg and stuff, that's something else. But like I said, I'm really worried about like Last Ronin becoming the Dark Knight of the Turtles universe, where it's like this is where we're always going to go now.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it is kind of the Dark Knight
Yeah.
of the Turtles.
It is,
universe.
but now like we can't have a Batman
yeah.
movie without referencing
Yeah,
returns in some way. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying now.
Yeah.
And
we
it was a little more
we will
mature.
never. I don't think we'll ever get another blue cape and cowl Batman. Like
Right.
everything's got to be fucking black. Like
Right.
there's
He's got to be black. He's got to be
Yeah.
dark. He's got to be, you know, like
Yeah.
he cannot have fun ever. Nothing can ever work out for him ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's
with
just
it.
for violence, you guys make a good point. And I rarely watch things without my kids. And yes, my kids are older, but I'm still not comfortable watching nudity with my
Same.
children,
Mm.
regardless of their age. So I know, like with The Witcher, that's what stopped me watching The Witcher,
Mm.
the original series. You know, we got a few episodes in, and I was like, I can't watch this with my kids.
Right.
Mm.
And whether or not it bothered my kids, it bothered me. So I think unnecessary nudity is just, as per the name, not necessary in movies. Like
Mhm.
there's places to see that. It doesn't have to be in movies and shows.
Yeah.
Now violence, I don't have a problem with violence, but you know.
I think just adapting the comic as it is would garner to mature. I think there's some language like the darker tone, the violence. Like I think that's in. I don't think they have to amp it up.
And you're going to be dealing with the deaths of main characters, like you
Right.
know.
Right.
So,
I don't
spoiler
think they
alert.
need to add random nudity to get that R rating in it. But
And they
and-
probably won't. Yeah. Considering who, you know, that the property is owned. And
I mean, if they
marketed the way
do,
that it
it'll
is.
be like someone's going through like a cyberpunk style like strip club or something like that you see in any of like the 80s cop movies, like that sort of thing would be my guess.
So I would say for me, like nudity, the language is very similar to having like a female led story. Okay. I don't have a problem with it. I'm okay with it as long as it makes sense, as long as you're doing a good movie that makes sense with it. Like, but if you're just throwing it in there to throw it in there, if you're just throwing in a female lead because you want to make a female lead, you're forcing some sort of empowerment issue or whatever. If you're just throwing in an F word to get a rating, if you're just throwing nudity in to get a rating and stuff, if it doesn't make sense to the overall story, then I don't like it. Write a good story, and if it includes some of those elements, I'm good. But make sure it's a good story first. That's my thing. So, Joe, you said it looked like you nodded that you had something that you're excited for coming up.
I did. I'm excited on something from 2010 that I just found out about today.
Oh wow!
So
Okay.
yeah. So one of my favorite video game series is called Alan Wake. It's a wonderfully put together game. It not necessarily to play in the sense that the combat is awkward and difficult, and sometimes it can be hard to get through the game. But it's put together, like the story and the directing of the cutscenes are so good. It's I hear there's a rumor that they're making a show of it, of Alan Wake, and I hope that that's true. But what I didn't know that I found out today when I was Googling something else is that they did a live action prequel to the first Alan Wake game. That's like 50 minutes long. It's like a mini movie called Bright Falls. And I had no idea that it existed. And I watched the trailer, and the trailer looks amazing. And it's free. You can download it for free from Microsoft. So I am going to watch that. And I'm super excited because I freaking love Alan Wake. It's amazing.
Well, I am excited that you made it through your Have You Evers so that you have time to watch that.
What's a Have You Ever?
Yeah.
No, that was cool.
something.
I also did not know about that, but that's cool to know.
Yeah, Alan Wake is so good. It's so good. It's like one of my favorite forms of entertainment. It's just an amazing story.
And right now it's the Alan Wake 2 is the most popular game out there right now, or fourth most popular right now.
It's really, really good. The story is really well done. The guy who writes it, which I forget his first name, but they're I think a Dutch studio. It's a foreign studio. But they the guy's name is Lake, and I forget his first name. But
Ricky.
his writing, he wrote I'm gonna draw a blank on the name. What was the original bullet time game? Oh damn it. But anyways, he did
Hitman?
No,
Jumpman. Donkey Man. Donkey
I'm
Kong.
drawing a blank. But
Blank Man.
there's another game called Control, which they did in between Alan Wake 1 and 2, which kind of ties the story together. It's like a government agency that investigates supernatural. It's like X-Files on crack.
Okay.
Because the events are so much, being a video game, the events can be a lot grander. Max Payne, that's the one. Yes.
Didn't I say Max Payne?
Thank you.
I didn't hear anything. Dooch was like throwing out a million things over and over.
It's true.
Yeah.
Maybe you did. I didn't. I don't think so. But
You said
it's
Hitman
possible.
first.
Oh, Hitman.
And-
I said Hitman. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
and then Dooch threw out a bunch of others with just man at the end.
Yep.
So he basically
Thanks.
went Motu on us.
Right.
So
When in
In my
doubt.
mind, Max Payne and Hitman are the same thing. I know they're not, but like the movies came out around the same time, so in my mind they've merged. So that's my bad.
There's a Max
Gotcha.
Payne movie. I didn't know that.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that either.
with,
Interesting.
I think Mark Wahlberg.
So it's got to be good.
Yeah, it actually might be good.
I did not say that, just on the record. I don't remember it enough to comment either way.
Right. But the Federal Bureau of Control does appear in Alan Wake 2, and it's amazing. And anyways, the live action trailer, or the Bright Falls, the live action prequel to the original Alan Wake, I watched the trailer and it looks amazing, and I'm excited even though it's a 14-year-old show, movie, whatever it is.
Okay.
Cool.
So I'm going to watch it, and I'm really looking forward to it because I love Alan Wake.
Beautiful. Well, guys, I think that brings us to our main discussion point because like I said, we still got some stuff to record later tonight. So, Joe, I'm going to let you lead this off while we talk about Fallout, the series.
All right. Yeah, I am so impressed with how good this show is. The story fits the world. The sets look like they pulled them right out of the game and brought them to life. I mean, they had an amazing attention to detail. I was a little surprised too that there's, I don't know if I'd call it Easter eggs because it's just everything is from the game. So, but they didn't pull from just the modern games. In the first episode, the Brotherhood, and I'm going to draw a blank. I'm sorry, I'm tired. But the Brotherhood,
Steel?
yeah, it's the Brotherhood of Steel, but the that arm of their military, which I'm drawing a total blank on. But anyways, they're wearing the purple robes. The purple robes actually appeared in the first game, the original, which came out in 2000, somewhere in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really neat that there's references to things from, pretty much all of the games. Dogmeat is in it, which other than the massively multiplayer Fallout 76, he's appeared in every other canon Fallout game. So, it's just, there's a lot of attention to detail. So if you're a hardcore Fallout fan, unlike what happened with the Halo show, where people were mad because they changed so much about Halo to make it fit for the show.
Right.
I feel like with Fallout, like you can be a hardcore fan and still enjoy this show. The characters fit the world. I mean, it's 219 years in 219 years after 2077. So far in the future, these people have been living in a a radioactive wasteland for a very long time. So morality and, social structure and things like that, I don't want to say they don't exist, because that's not true, but it's fun to see how people would act without a modern culture, affecting their beliefs. And I think that that's one of the interesting things. I really enjoyed one of the main character that's from the Brotherhood of Steel. He wants to be a hero, but because of the world that he grew up in, I don't think he really understands what that means. And he does some not nice things, one of my favorite lines from is they ask him at one point, why did you join the Brotherhood? And he says, to hurt the people who hurt me, and in his head, that's the right thing,
That makes perfect sense.
Right. So that's, yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was done so well. Production quality is really high. Obviously that Amazon money really worked for him on it. The acting I thought was well done. The pacing, I like how they just, instead of slowing things down, they just keep switching to different characters. So, I think that keeps a pretty good pace of it, to keep it interesting and keep the flow of it going. It's a little gory, maybe a little bit more than I expected. I watched it with my kids. They actually watched it. My two younger boys watched it with me, and in the game you can get a perk called the bloody mess perk that causes people to like explode when you shoot, kill them and stuff. And they're like, oh, they have the bloody mess perk because everybody just gets ripped to shreds, in it. But yeah, so far I'm super impressed. I haven't finished it, but I was really.
How many episodes have you watched?
5.
Oh, you're up to 5.
I would have finished it, but I had to watch Curtis's movie to be ready for the Have You Ever.
When I went to watch it the other night, there were only 5 episodes available, and it showed there were more coming. Did they?
No,
are they
all 8
available?
were up there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I saw all 8 listed. I haven't got to them yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go next. The assignment, as I was told, was to watch the first episode. I didn't realize they were going to drop more than that. So that's all I watched was the first episode.
I only watched the first as well. So
okay. And I'll say I had no previous knowledge of the Fallout world. I didn't play any of the video games. The only thing I knew was kind of the limited synopsis that Joe has given us as far as what the world is and all this and that. And the trailer that we had seen previously. And that's really it. I didn't know anything else about this world. Halfway through the first episode, I stopped it at one point and was thinking, what the fuck am I watching? This is absolutely fucking terrible.
Now,
and
at what point? Like, I know you said halfway.
This is like about halfway through the first episode.
So, had you just been with the girl at that point, or did you get into Maximus?
Yes, just with the girl at this point, and it was at the I don't want to spoil anything for people, but basically, if it gets to the point where, before she goes out in the world, okay, so before that, and there's like there's a big fight scene and stuff.
Yep.
And the fight scene's going on. And I'm like, if I ever hear anybody complain about the slow motion in Rebel Moon again, I'm going to lose my fucking mind, because they must have done slow motion for about 20 fucking minutes. And I'm like, can you just speed this the fuck up? Like, I am dying here. Like, it was so much slow motion that I couldn't take it. Like, I had to stop it because it was so much. That all being said,
it's real quick, Curtis, just while we're on the slow motion, it's just funny you bring this up because I had to pause it. I think right before that happened, but I had to let the dogs outside, something. And I noticed that the first episode is an hour and 14 minutes long.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
I get to this fight
And an hour of
scene
that is slow motion.
where everything's going slow motion. I'm like, well, this would have been an hour if we had just let this
Right.
fight like take place in real time.
Right. Like
So-
I'm like I could see if you did slow down a few parts or something, but like the whole fucking fight is in slow motion and it takes 5 ever. And I was losing my mind. That being said, after that's done and she goes out in the world, from that point on, I really enjoyed it. The second half of the first episode, I was like, okay, I get what's going on. I see that we're going to be jumping from story to story. I think it would have been a lot cooler if they would have thrown some of those other stories in earlier so that it wasn't like, all of this vault slow bullshit stuff at the beginning that you have to wade through in order to get to the cool stuff. But yeah, from that point on, like the rest of the show, I was invested in every single story, every single character. I loved where it went. I'm excited to watch more episodes. But yeah, that first half of that episode and just the boringness of the vault, which I get it. That's what they're trying to illustrate is like these folks have not like they're still living with the same technology, the same culture, the same everything that was locked in there for 200 years. I get it. But like, did we have to spend 200 years fucking watching it? Like that was my take. So
I want to jump in after Curtis, if that's all right, Jesse.
Yeah, I'm fine.
It's kind of funny because while I do agree with like the slow motion went on too long, I liked it at first because it was like that shell shock of her, going from like this was supposed to be like the rest of my life, happiest day, and then like so at first I'm like okay, but it just dragged on too long. And I thoroughly enjoyed the episode too. Same background as Curtis. I had no idea. I've heard of the games. I know the little smiling thumbs up boy, that blonde guy. But that's like it. So I went in fresh and I really like the stuff in the vault and kind of trying to figure out how that world worked. And they got the different pods. The dad says he's from 31. They're in 33. They're doing a trade with 32. And I just thought it was a really good introduction to the world. If anything, I was more bored when we went out with Maximus and like, okay, these are just like these overzealous military guys, but I'm excited as to what, like I didn't see that twist coming that happens in the first episode with, in the vault, because like I said, I have nothing to base this on. So, now you're introducing all these different point of views, the military, these raiders, the vault, and they did a really good job to me of setting up this world in these different classes. And I can't wait to see how, I assume these are all going to kind of integrate as we venture beyond the vault.
Can I just throw out one thing real quick on what you said? I didn't know anything about this world other than what I heard about Joe. But one thing I did know is that the it's about all these other things that are going on in the world, not just what's going on in the vault. So I knew something was going to happen to where, probably the chick is what I'm guessing at the time, but somebody from the vault was going to have to go to the outside world. Yeah. So like during this whole portion, I'm like, okay, like I know that's going to happen. Like at some point, somebody's going to have to go outside. So let's get to that part, kind of thing. So I at least knew that about it.
Yeah. See, I didn't watch the trailer. I didn't watch, I went in complete. I didn't even catch that. Like Joe, you said that the bombing took place in like 2077.
Yeah.
Okay. See, unless I missed, I thought this was just like 1960s and like it was like an alternate timeline. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's what I thought too.
Back during the Cold War, the bomb actually dropped, is what I thought they were doing.
Right. No, there's actually a divergence. So that's why the technology is so advanced.
Gotcha.
Is because the culture didn't advance past the 1950s. That's why everyone was still, everything looked like a 1950s World Fair.
Right.
That's the aesthetic,
Gotcha.
of the game series. But yeah, the bombs actually drop in 2077. It's in the future.
Interesting.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and then it shocked the hell out of me when it was like 219 years later. I'm like, oh, so all those people we just saw in the opening scene don't mean
Gone.
shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
maybe. I'm kind of wondering about the end of the episode. So, I had another question. I forget it now. Oh, so in the game, is it like, do you get to like pick like one of these as a starting point? Like,
No,
you know
you're
what
a
I mean?
char- Yeah, you're a character. So like the original Fallout, you're the vault dweller. You're the water chip that purifies water for the vault stops working, and you're chosen to be the one person who goes out into the wasteland to try and find a replacement to save the vault.
Okay, so they're doing their whole different thing in this.
But there's different. There's in the different games you play different
Characters.
like there's different.
Yeah, every
stories,
game
right?
you're a different character. Yeah.
Okay.
And,
So what are
and
the what are,
sometimes
like what are some of the
usually-
other ones, Joe?
Usually, well, so Fallout 2, you're the chosen one, which is the descendant of the original vault dweller. Spoiler
Okay.
alert. But he's it's far enough in the future that from the first one that you're actually a tribal, like you live in a hut and
Okay.
have to leave your home. Then Fallout 3, you're the lone wanderer, which is another vault dweller. Your father is kidnapped, which is one of the criticisms I've seen. One of the few criticisms I've seen of the show is they feel like they kind of like stole the plot. She leaves to find her dad. In Fallout 3, you leave to find your dad, who's actually voiced by Liam Neeson, which is kind of cool. It was before he was super famous.
Nice.
Interesting.
Fallout New Vegas, you're the courier. So that's one of the big divergent ones. Most of them are vault dwellers. He's the mother fluffing mailman, but one of the cooler characters, actually. It's a really interesting story when you get into that
Kevin
one too.
Costner?
That was the postman.
Yeah.
Completely
Same
different.
thing. Same thing.
But yeah, the way they were jumping around there with like was Sally and then Maximus, I thought like maybe in the games you like chose a starting point too.
So what
That
it
was
feels
kinda what I was
like,
thinking, too.
so in the games you meet companions. So you'll meet people that you befriend and they join you to help you
Gotcha.
with your adventures. And what it feels like is like in the game they would just be telling you like, hey, this is what happened before I met you and I need help with blah blah blah. In this they're actually showing you, that's it still has a feel like something that would happen in the game. Like if she was the main character and then met Maximus would just tell her what led him up to that point, and I need help to do so on and so forth. And it just feels like they're just showing you what happened instead of having him just do just tell him,
Gotcha.
So it still to me anyways kind of has the feel of the video games there. And going to the slow motion scene, part of it in the game, you have your Pit Boy, the computer that's on their arm, has an ability called VATS, and it slows down time to make combat easier.
Okay.
Made
that would be a
feel
good
like
thing to know if you're not somebody that's played
right.
the games. Okay.
Like a VATS moment. And then that scene is also loaded with a ton of Easter eggs.
I'm sure.
So
Yeah.
the whole time my kids and I are like pointing, like when that big guy, he puts, it looks like an inhaler in his mouth.
Yeah.
It's a drug called Jet.
Okay.
And it's like a super amphetamine drug, so basically he's like shooting up, and that's why he's like roaring afterwards, because that's what the characters do in the game when they take
Okay.
So
I kind of figured that
makes
and
more
like
sense.
the syringe she uses were like healing potion type things where the
a syringer, you can put different drugs in them in the game to different effects, but it's a weapon called a syringer. It's in the games, and she's just tranquilizing them. And the music, like like if you play the games, all of the music, it's not all 1950s music, but it all has that kind of sound to it.
Mm-hmm.
And your Pip-Boy has a radio on it. So a lot of the combat takes place with you listening to 1950s music, sounding music while you're fighting in slow motion. So that's probably what kind of inspired that scene a little bit.
That makes sense. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait to watch more. And I guess my only complaint would be I wish they'd spent a little bit more time on the world building, because I still have a few questions. Like, I think they did a good enough job for somebody like me that has no idea to like grasp it, but I'm hoping they do dive a little bit deeper and we learn a bit more throughout the 8 episodes.
Yeah, they do actually. It seems like, to me anyways, that they do a lot of world building, especially in the second episode.
Nice.
Cool. Jesse?
I know very little about the game. Like, I've been aware of the games, since the, early 2000s. Like, I had friends that played it. It was just one that I just didn't have. They're computer games, right? For like PC, desktop.
Yeah, and consoles. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now Microsoft actually bought
but like originally.
So originally it was a computer game. Yeah. Fallout 1 and 2 were PC games.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I never had really good PC computers to run stuff on. So like it always seemed cool. So like I knew a little bit like about these vault dwellers and this sort of stuff, but I didn't know the bombing and the time. I knew it was like, in the desolate future, radiation, blah, blah, blah. So I knew maybe a little more than Curtis and Matt going into it, but not a lot.
Right.
So I'll say this, until you guys started talking about the slow-mo, I totally forgot slow-mo even happened. Even now, like I'm trying to recall it in my mind, and I don't remember it as slow-mo necessarily. I was just like, wow, this sequence is really brutal. I'm like, oh, there's some more gore flying around. It was just kind of like, okay. That said, all right, this is one of those things where I'm trying to say something that comes out as both a compliment and an insult. So I apologize if this does not come out properly.
Just pretend.
I did think the first half of the show was slow, but I liked getting to know Lucy. But like, because it has that kind of confined prison vibe to it, and
right.
Those type of settings make me very uncomfortable.
Same.
So I think that's why I struggled with the first half. But seeing like all the different takes of like, okay, here's this 50s, culture, perpetuated for 200 years. It kind of reminded me of Blast from the Past with Brendan Fraser and all that sort of stuff, but on a much bigger scale. Yes, thank you. But I knew as soon as the other pod comes in, the other vault came in, I was like, all right, something's off with these people. Just the way they looked, I wasn't sure what the level was going to be. And then as it builds up, whatever. So the slow-mo didn't really stand out to me. It drives me nuts in the friggin', what do you call it?
Rebel Moon.
Justice League.
Gotcha. Oh yeah.
But I liked the world they were setting up. I liked, I knew eventually she would have to go outside. I was like, we have to go beyond this, because that's the whole concept of the story. So I knew I thought that was going to be where the episode ends. So then when it cut and we went to another character and then another character, I was like, oh, okay, all right. Like I dig this. And like you said, I think they're going to merge together, and, or some of them will overlap, kind of like the first season of Witcher, where everybody's doing their own thing. And then eventually you realize, oh wait, these are all at a time. And then they all kind of merge up in the end or whatever. But I think, just like you said, the Amazon money, the production value, I think the acting it was pretty solid from everybody. I mean, you got Blind Al as one of like the council members from Deadpool. And who else? Walton Goggins playing the cowboy at the beginning, like that whole sequence. I was confused about the timeline too, because there's that robot, it's like, do you need any assistance? Like in that little pod at the house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that was like, wait, I'm gonna have to ask Joe about this, but you already explained it. So
Okay.
I was like, wow, they're just really, really rich. And I
Right.
like the whole thing explaining the thumbs up. I was like, oh, okay. So is that part of the game? I mean, I know the
yes.
character doing the thumbs up is, but like the explanation.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
kind of one of those like taken from history, but nobody knows if it was really a thing
Sure.
that was taught or not. But they took it, from that 1950s, the duck and cover or whatever,
Yeah,
that stuff,
like we
and
used to do
added
the-
it to the. It's 100% not true, but
Right.
it's fun
Right.
for.
But
the
it's like one of those
aesthetic
things, like when they would try to convince us that sitting under our desks and covering our heads during a nuclear fallout would help us if we got
Oh yeah,
bombed.
for sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
maybe the rafters won't fall on you if you're under your desk. Yeah, but the radiation is going to melt you alive. So when I thought the whole bomb drop sequence was interesting because like I thought it was just going to be one bomb, but I'm like, well, it's got to be all over the world. And then they kept showing like the multiple bombs, like all. I was like, oh dang.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to see where it goes. I do. Oh, the guy, his name. I'm looking at his name. The guy who played Thaddeus, one of the young recruits at the camp. That looked kind of like he had like the mustache and everything.
Yes.
He is so good at playing that character that I just want to punch. Because he played almost the same character on Superstore, but he was a little more stupid on Superstore, the kind of Walmart spoof show.
He was on Superstore.
Yeah, he was Cheyenne's boyfriend, like the.
He was. You're right.
He's always
That
like
is
snapping his
him.
finger and like
Yeah.
being like the whole white trash character and everything.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it's a great cast. I can't wait to watch more of it. See where it all goes. So I'm glad she's out of the vault. We're in the world, and we're getting to see that kind of whole desolate landscape thing. So, I mean, I don't know if we'll go back to any of the vault stories. I imagine more people will have to come out of other vaults at some point. But
I got to bring up something because we've all kind of gone through and talked, and one thing that didn't come up that we've got to discuss from the vault is cousin stuff.
Yeah. Well, because and again, they're showing
really cousin stuff.
Well, it's showing exactly how small these groups are, how segregated they are, and the fact that after a generation or two, you're all cousins at that point.
I get
that's
it,
why they have to do these trades here. Like, I mean,
I get the trade, but you don't need cousin stuff. You can just go without.
I'm not supporting cousin stuff, but I'm saying right there, it's showing you how segregated this community is. They're hill folk. At this point.
Well, and that's why when Jesse was talking about the other group coming in, I wasn't as like suspicious about them when they came in because I was like, well, maybe that's just how that vault runs. Like that vault is more kind of dirty, nasty. Like they're not as, I don't know. Their culture in that vault is a little different than the culture in this vault. I wasn't thinking anything of it until, all hell broke loose. But cousin stuff got me. I was like,
without spoiling it, I wasn't expecting the way their story went exactly to go, but I was like, there's something off about them. Like something didn't go. I just didn't know quite how far off.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. See, I played the games. So when you see like one guy's got a mohawk with tattoos on his head, another person had tattoos on there. They look like raiders from the game.
Yeah.
So, that was one of those things like that wasn't a shock to me because, I was like, oh, they're raiders. Okay. This is where we're going.
Okay.
The fact that they were playing along for so long, instead of just attacking them right away, they were like playing along. And I was like, what's this about? Like, why are they playing nice?
Well, and it was,
and that is expanded as the show goes on.
And I might have missed it, but I didn't realize that your thing cut out for a second. I thought you were done.
Oh, no problem.
Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I was just saying that the stories expand. Like there's a lot more to the show than what they've just showed in the first episode. So the stories do keep expanding, and there's more. I don't want to give any spoilers, obviously, but
that's why
The story
didn't
does keep
dwell on it.
expanding. So, right.
Yeah, I didn't dwell on it too much here either, but I'm definitely left with some questions after that whole incident. Like, it just doesn't make sense why they raided all of Vault 32, but then left 33 pretty much untouched. Like,
That
You know,
they
super
took the dad and
interesting.
left everybody else, and
right.
not everybody, but the people that didn't die.
Right.
And then let them like secure it back up, you know,
Mhm.
it's just weird. And I didn't know, like, when that whole like them like opening the vaults to one another like thing happened. I didn't realize that the guy was going to stay in the new vault, you know. Then she's like she shows him to the room, and so she's like, this is where we're going to be, whatever. I thought she was going to their vault.
Me too.
So I thought it was like a trade where it was like they were just meeting at the doors. She was going to go in and then whatever.
Yeah.
So then, when they start doing like the whole, like they're having a dinner and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, they're going to have a dinner, see those people back out. And then those two are going to go on their honeymoon or whatever. But no, they just kind of leave. And then like the other people are still kind of lingering. And it's like, get out of my vault, you know?
Well, they said that the other vault was getting seed.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
she got a husband and they got
like a
seed.
seed
right. I got
exchange.
that, but I mean, you could meet him at the door and just kind of hand him that stuff, and you know, like I wanted to do like in the Midwest when people come over to visit and stuff, and you're ready for them to go. You do that where you slap your leg.
Well,
you know, I was waiting for them to do one of those. Well, it looks like you need to go back to your vault now.
I will say though.
I think they were all enjoying it because they don't get to cross germinate so much.
Yeah.
I don't even mean sexually, but just like with other people,
right?
That is probably a very rare event. So they were like, I could see why the people in the vault we started and were so happy to spend time with other people, and maybe not picking up on how weird they were.
Right.
Because I just felt like every time they showed someone at the table, like people are
Mm.
talking, everybody's like the new guests were just kind of like, I don't understand how to sit at a table. Like,
Right.
what's a fork? Like
Well,
they
the
just had
actors-
these like,
Yeah, the actors did a great job because the people that were like the real vault people were like acted totally fucking lame and just
just
like they've definitely been locked up by themselves for 200 years, you know, kind of thing.
like Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Blast from the Past.
That's a great
they
movie.
acted like he would have if
Right.
he'd been, 200 years later.
And the other guys totally acted like people that were trying to act normal vault people, but they don't know how to act like normal vault people. So it was a great acting performance. It was just I was ready to move on from the vault and definitely move on from the slow motion.
And once you realize, it all hits you once you realize what they're really here for, and then you pick up on all these things that you just dismissed as, well, the vault next door is weird, you know. But then even then, like before all hell breaks loose, when the groom looks at her and he's like, this was the best day of my life, and like you really feel like he's being genuine there, like this, whatever he had to endure up top, like this, being secure, being nice meal, everything else, like this really was the best day of his life. Like, so it gives you all that perspective and just these quick little scenes of the Raiders versus the Vault Dwellers, and everything else. So.
Yeah. Okay.
I did find her brother to be a little off-putting. He seemed like he was like 20 years older than her.
You talking about the short kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, who is this grown-ass man playing her younger brother?
So I love Ender's Game, and I've watched it like a million times, and he plays a total prick in that movie, and I can't see him in anything else because every time I just want to punch his fucking face. Like, he is such a dick in that movie that I just like. So even if he's playing a good character, like even at like, I don't know, as he's being like sweet to his sister and stuff, I just want to punch him in his face. So
yeah, I thought he was gonna ruin everything or like get them all. Like, I was waiting for him to like screw everything up. So
yeah. Yeah, he like I don't know if you guys have seen Ender's Game before, but like he basically like at one point gets into a fight and like cracks his head and becomes like a vegetable, like he's out, and I'm like, good, like that. I can't imagine any movie where somebody would like go into that state and like not be aware of where they're at. They're totally paralyzed, all this kind of stuff. And I would be happy about it. But in that movie, I'm happy. Like that guy's such a jerk that I'm like, that's what he gets. So anyway. JMax77
it
says loving Baldur's Gate so far. He watched our Wednesday win
Nice.
shot this week and downloaded the game. So there you go. That's cool.
dig it, man. That's awesome.
Yep.
I will say I don't know if you guys, this isn't a spoiler. I think you're supposed to know. You said Walter Goggins. That's the guy from the beginning.
Walton Goggins, yeah.
Walton Goggins. Okay. That character is the ghoul at the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
spoiler alert!
No, it's not a
same
spoiler.
actor, and he's the same voice and everything. Like you
Yeah.
guys didn't pick
the
up on
reason
that.
being, I was
No,
gonna-
I did.
No, I 100%.
Okay.
Even though they filmed that
Okay.
final scene like
I didn't know
really
if you
dark,
guys knew
where I'm
that-
like, what am I looking at? But
So
Yeah,
didn't know if
I
you
knew
guys
just
He's
from the
sitting at, like, fine to
trailer,
me.
before even watching the episode, just watching the trailer, and they showed like some video clips that I guess he had, because he was an actor, I guess, and he had done some video clips. I'm guessing that we're going to see later on episodes for the vault, where he was like talking about being in the vault and stuff. And then they showed, like in the preview, they showed him as like the ghoul thing at the end, and it's the same guy, same voice. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I mean, I knew that going in that was kind of going to be the thing.
So ghouls are a mutation in the Fallout universe. Some people have a certain genetic defect that radiation doesn't hurt them. It actually heals them. They basically become immortal because radiation, but it also causes their skin to basically melt off. That's why ghouls look.
Oh,
like
is that what's going on with him? Because they were talking
Yeah.
about how like somebody, like they had him in the ground, and they bring him up every so often and like cut pieces off him or something. So I thought he was just looked like that because whoever was keeping him there was cutting pieces off him. I didn't realize that that's from the radiation and stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, they're gonna touch on it and try to explain it, but it's kind of vague because the lore for ghouls is, I think, intentionally vague. But yeah, they're basically immortal, but continued exposure to the radiation, what keeps them alive, eventually rots their brains and they become feral.
Oh,
so
Yeah, right. That's which is why they had the chicken.
Yeah. That's what they were talking about with the, is he feral? Because most old ghouls.
Which I tell you what, if you bury me for 200 years and then you show a chicken to me, I'm gonna go after that. I'm gonna make me some nuggets. So.
He's only buried for like 30 years, they said.
Gotcha.
That time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
good.
I'm hoping that when everyone watches the entire series, that we can have another discussion about it, just because I'm curious to see what your guys' thoughts are at the end. I'm 5 episodes in, no spoilers, but I've really enjoyed everything I've watched so far. So unless they totally blow the ending, I feel like I'm gonna enjoy it. So I'm really curious to see what your guys' thoughts are. So
beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for where it ended up. It's cool to see. You've got like these vault people that have been secluded and don't really understand kind of what's been going on outside. You've got these like scavenger type people that are just trying to like find what they can to survive and all this kind of stuff. And then you got the military faction type people, and so I think it's interesting how there's like all these different versions of survivors, and how it's going to be when those groups interact with one another. So yeah, it should be fun.
Right on.
Beautiful. Well, we have, I do believe Dooch had a lightning round for us, and then we'll close out the show and get to our recording. So let's go ahead and hit
Curtis
us with
really
the lightning
wants
round.
to get off the air tonight.
I'm just trying. I mean, we're already at 2 hours almost, and we still got 2 recordings to do. I don't want to get to the point where we're like, oh, we're too tired to do that, kind of thing. So
Spoiler
Trevor made
alert.
fun of us for having a long show.
But this isn't Trevor's show.
that's true.
I love you, Trevor, but like this is our show. We're gonna do our
As
thing.
if Trevor's gonna watch this and hear that. All right. Hold on. I've got to do something first. I gotta throw Dooch in the lightning round spot.
Oh,
Okay.
no one likes that.
Everybody likes it.
All right, so we'll go right around here. We'll go Joe, Curtis, Jesse for answers. So we'll start off. Obviously, games have been on my mind this week with Fallout and everything else. So, first question: what is your favorite card game?
Solitaire.
Okay.
I've only played like 2 card games my whole life, like Solitaire and Uno, and
Both
I don't
good, solid
particularly enjoy them, but I guess Solitaire. I play it on the computer when I'm bored sometimes. So.
Joe, we were born in the same year, so every time that I feel like you're old, it really is telling me that I'm old.
Correct.
So,
and that
yeah,
old like MS DOS,
yeah, like anytime that
Solitaire
you're talking about like reading
shit.
books and playing solitaire.
I'm just gonna say this. I think that you play at being a nerd, Curtis. But you're not really a nerd, man. You're like trying to absorb
let me
our
see if I
nerd
can-
culture, but you're missing like the key points, man.
Let me see if
You
I
gotta
can
do the
redeem
math.
myself and make myself sound even older than you, because I'm going to go with Gin Rummy.
I knew you were gonna say that.
You seem like
I used to play with my grandma all the time, and we did penny a point, quarter a box. And man, we would just play like all summer long, and it was awesome. So yeah, Gin Rummy for me.
nice.
I don't remember how to play it anymore, but I'm gonna say screw your neighbor.
Whoa.
I don't think
What-
that's,
You haven't seen my neighbor.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what my neighbors do to you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's either that or what was it, BS? I can't
Oh,
remember
okay,
which one
bullshit.
it is.
Yeah.
But
I know
Screw Your
bullshit.
Neighbor. I can't, like I said, I don't remember how to play Screw Your Neighbor. It is a game. I just looked it up. Like,
it's not just something me and my neighbor
Hey.
played.
Audience, hey, chat,
No,
please
actually,
don't
I
Google
played-
screw your neighbor.
I did. I searched Screw Your Neighbor card game, and there's even
Oh,
apps for it.
card
There's
game.
videos How
Gotcha.
to play it on YouTube. He asked what card game.
Right, I'm saying if
Um,
people are Googling it at home right now, they need to make
Yeah,
sure they add
Yes,
card game
Make
at
sure
the
you
end.
add
game.
card game. Yes. I can't remember how you do, but the whole point was to like, it was like to be deceptive, like kind of bluffing, kind of like
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how it worked, but it was something like that. And I just remember like when I always had a lot of fun playing it,
Mm.
but I haven't played it in probably 25 years, so I don't remember how to play it. But I always had fun, and I played it. I learned it. My church youth group is the kids I learned how to play it from, which usually we weren't supposed to play card games on youth trips. So it was usually at someone's house, if we were hanging out for a weekend or something. I don't believe there was any gambling or betting involved with it, which was the whole no card game rule. But anyway, I really like that. And if that's not a good enough answer, I'll go with Apples to Apples as my follow-up.
Okay.
I think most people that screw their neighbor have fun doing it. Just
Yeah.
FYI.
As long as it's consensual.
Dooch.
I gotta go with pretty much either spades or hearts. They're both interchangeable for me, but I just have a ton of fun with them. Big shout out to Uno. That's one of the earliest card games played with my kids. Like we have played a ton of Uno in my family.
Mhm.
And Skippo is another good one that me and my grandma, that's what we used to play all the time. So
Did you ever play Phase 10?
I have a couple times. I didn't care for it as much, but yeah,
we played that a lot too, along
it's
with
not
the
bad.
Uno. Yep.
I kind of thought you might be a euchre guy, Curtis. I'm not sure
Never played
why,
it.
but you're.
Never played it. Now I probably would have gone with poker, like probably Texas Hold'em, had I not just
Gotcha.
had the nostalgic memories of playing with my grandma with the gin rummy. So
Absolutely. All right. I'm also kind of surprised no one threw out like Magic the Gathering or something. I really thought somebody would be into that, but
Yeah,
Never
I
played
didn't
it.
really think of that as a card game. But
It's a lifestyle.
it's a
it's a
life.
CCG.
I mean, for some folks, it definitely is.
Yeah.
All right, lightning round.
Lightning round.
As we all know, the famous board game Jumanji will take the players and suck them into its world. What game would you want to be Jumanji'd into?
Ooh, interesting.
Candyland.
Ooh, all right.
Sounds delicious. I don't know.
That's a good answer. I love it.
Well, I haven't played a ton of games in my life. I played a lot of World of Warcraft, and that's one that I don't know that I'd want to be in. I don't think I'd want to live in that world. Metal Gear, which is one that I would definitely die within 2 seconds. I think I'm going to go Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
I think I could see myself having a good time in the world of Baldur's Gate.
Hell
I love it.
I'd be a serf
Just
in Baldur's Gate.
I was gonna say Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if that counts the same world as Baldur's Gate, but I'll go Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. I respect it. I understand it.
Because my physicality doesn't matter anymore, and it's all based on the stats I rolled going into the game. So
True.
that would make me, no matter what character
You
I've
just
rolled to this
pissed
date.
Curtis off by stealing the same answer, and he is done
Baldur's
now.
Gate is a setting for D&D.
I know that. Curtis doesn't understand that.
I think. Fine, I'll take it back. I'll
No,
change
I'm
it
teasing you. No one gives a shit what Curtis
to.
thinks. He's
I
probably
care what
taking a
Curtis
shit
thinks.
anyways.
Yeah, no, I'll stick with that.
All right.
That's pretty good. I thought we were talking about board games. That's why I picked Candyland.
I mean, I left
but
it open. I just said game, so
Oh, gotcha.
it's however you interpret the lightning round.
That's
JG
fine.
also
I'll
said
stick with it.
Candyland at the same time, so
Oh,
you and
yeah,
him are
man.
gonna have an adventure.
Some candy.
And for me,
Some
it'd be
candy.
Legend of
Yeah.
Zelda. Throw me into Hyrule. I'm gonna ride Epona around. It's gonna be great.
A what?
Don't mess with the chickens.
Epona.
What's that?
Ever
Gonna
mess
cut
with
all the grass. It's a pony.
Epona? That's his horse's name.
Okay,
Link's horse.
I'm sorry, horse.
gotcha.
Well, it depends on which age you are, but yes, he's pony horse. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All right,
Can I-
last
can
one.
Can I tell you guys something about Zelda?
Sure.
I've only played one Zelda game my whole life, and it was one of those little handheld ones that like you used to get at like Walmart.
Yeah, I think we've had this conversation.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like the
The
Tiger
Tiger
Electronics
Yeah.
type thing. Yeah.
The only Zelda game I ever played. It like
Yeah.
it flipped open too, which I thought was cool. It was like a flip cell phone kind of thing, and which were that was the coolest. at that
Guarantee
point.
you that was probably the worst Zelda game ever.
It was my favorite.
I don't know. Those
Because, you know, when I
CDI
played-
ones are pretty bad. So
Oh, okay.
I've only played the first two.
yeah.
I loved Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, 64 Ocarina of Time. That's where it's at.
Yeah, I just never played them. I don't know why, because I loved the Super
I could-
Nintendo one, but
Spend hours
Yeah,
cutting
yeah,
grass, looking for gems and gold.
Mhm.
That's how I
Fishing.
was with
Had to
World
get
of
all the
Warcraft.
fish.
Yeah, World of Warcraft. I could sit there and like put on some music and just fish for 3-4 hours. Just and I hate fishing in real life. Like I can't stand it. But in World of Warcraft, yeah, I could sit there and fish all day or go mining or something. Yeah, any kind of mindless, just go around and yeah, I'm good. Yeah, mining like Joe. Yep. But
I
like
got
World
you.
of Warcraft
I-
mining,
I-
getting my ore and
I don't do the actual mining.
melting it
but
and
yeah.
Lightning round.
lightning round.
Last question. What do you feel is the best video game adaptation to date? So
So you're just not using my question that I gave you,
it's is it video game related?
huh?
Is it game related?
No, it's not game related.
Okay, so maybe it will show up in a future episode. Calm down. We got many lightning
I
rounds.
hope I'm
ahead
here
of
for
us.
it. I hope it's an episode that I'm on.
I hope so too. You have a tendency not to show up or to show up late. So, it can be any sort of video game adaptation. What do you feel?
What's the question again? Because I was just mad that you didn't ask mine.
What do you feel is the best video game adaptation to date? So, video game to book or movie or TV show or whatever, but just the best adaptation of the source video game.
Gosh, I'm trying to think of there's a couple that are fresh, like Halo and Fallout. But I know there's more that I enjoy. I'm just totally drawing a blank, but it's recency bias, but I'm going to go with Fallout just because I'm a mega fan of the property.
Yeah.
And to have done so well.
I kind of figured it would be Fallout for you.
Yeah, there might be a movie or something that I just it's not coming to me. So
Street Fighter, maybe that was a good.
That one was pretty good. The original Mortal Kombat I actually liked a lot.
I like both of them myself,
especially when it came out. The second.
Hey, why don't you guys just list every single fucking movie, and then none of us can have answers? That would be great.
We'll see.
Stop being pissy just because I didn't use your question this week.
I would have liked to have a list. So I'm trying to help. I'm helping. Curtis, I'm helping.
Curtis.
I would go with the Mortal Kombat movies. I really liked those first two. I know they don't get a whole lot of love, but I actually thought they were really good. I only really played Mortal Kombat at the arcade, or well, for me it was at the bowling alley, but the stand-up game. But I thought that movie did a really good job, and I just love the music, the action. I thought both of those first two movies were really good.
Agreed.
Oh man, I don't know how to answer this.
I should preface. Hold on one second. I should preface that.
Yeah, take your time.
There's other video game properties that we've had, like series and stuff, that I thought were great, but I didn't play the game, so I can't speak to whether it was a good adaptation or not. Like Halo was fucking amazing. I'm really enjoying this Fallout so far. That Last of Us has been awesome, but I didn't play any of those games, so I don't know. And the only one I can think of that I really played the game that became a movie was the Warcraft, and I don't think they did a stellar job. I like it for what it is, but it's so.
And I think that's kind of the consensus with Halo too. Like it might be a good series, but it's not necessarily like a good adaptation from what I'm hearing. Give Jesse more time to think. JG does throw out Mortal Kombat Conquest. The TV show is very cult and unknown. Did they really spell Conquest with a C and not with a K? Like that just
missed
opportunity.
The Mario movie that just came out not too long ago is pretty good as far as that goes. But I mean, my kids liked it a lot and thought it was, they play those games all the time, and they felt like it was very true to the games. So
I played Donkey Kong in the arcade way back.
Jesse, you good?
What?
Are you just gonna pass? I mean, if you don't have anything, you're good. I broke Jesse.
No,
I also like the Resident Evil movies, but I don't think they're like
they're
they're not good adaptations.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Like that's my problem. It's like there are a lot of movies and shows based on video games I like. I don't know. Like I don't think it a straight now Fallout may prove to be different, but I've not played it, so I like straight game to screen adaptation.
I've heard from some people that Last of Us is pretty close, but once again, I've never played the game.
See, and I know Warlock's bringing up Sonic, but that's kind of the same thing for me. I enjoyed both the Sonic movies, but they're also very much their own thing to what I picture a Sonic game being. Like it's
Yeah, Sonic's like the Masters of the Universe '87 movie where
Right.
they just bring it into
Bring
Earth
it into the
yeah.
Earth, which I guess is something they've done in later Sonic games, is make it a bit more earthly. But yeah, for me, I remember the old school Sonic. So. Would you like me to go ahead, Jesse? Or you?
No, I was just waiting for everybody else to stop talking now.
Oh, sorry. We were trying to give you time. We were trying to help.
I maybe my mic didn't pick me up. I started to say something. I'm gonna go. I don't even know if I can really say this one because I've not played the game. But I'm going with Arcane.
Arcane. Okay.
I don't know how to compare it. I can't compare the adaptation because like any game I've played that I like, all the adaptations have been either garbage or they've been games I've never played and I like whatever the movie was. So
it's a good show, but it doesn't match the game at all. So
okay, I mean my next closest one. I mean,
it's his opinion.
None of the ones.
Well, no, he didn't.
Like,
no, I'm just saying because I have played the game. Like it doesn't. Yeah.
The other one I would say would be the 2016 Tomb Raider, but I know that doesn't necessarily follow the game, so like I can't really say it's a good adaptation. But I thought that one was a pretty good movie.
Gotcha. I haven't seen that one.
I ran the question.
What the newest Tomb Raider? Is that the one you're talking about? Not the Angelina Jolie ones, but the newer one.
Yeah, the one with Alicia Vikander.
Okay, I haven't seen the movie, but the games are really cool. Are really interesting reimagining of it. It's way different than the older Tomb Raiders, but in a good way.
I love it.
And they're bringing up Castlevania, which I didn't even think about, but yes, that I watched the first season of the cartoon and it's extremely well done.
The cartoon's good. I mean, have you played the game? Like, would you say it's close to the game? Because I haven't really played the games.
I played the old games on Nintendo and Super Nintendo. But yeah, I'd say it's fairly close story-wise. Yeah, I mean they were side scrollers, so like visually they're going to be very different.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, it is Last of Us. I really liked what they did with that series. I felt it evoked the game, and I like how they tried to get a lot. Kind of like how Joe explained to us in Fallout, how like the slowing down thing is like a feature in the game. Like you go to that first episode of Last of Us where he's like driving in the car and you've got like that video game camera angle of if you were actually driving the car and you just like, you feel like you're in a video game during this show. So gotcha. I think that was really well done.
I haven't watched the series because I didn't play the game because it's a PlayStation exclusive and I'm a PC gamer.
Yes.
So.
But see, I didn't play Halo or Fallout, and I watched those, and I really enjoyed them. So.
I just didn't. I might watch it sometime. I'm not saying I don't want to watch it. I just haven't.
Gotcha.
I don't have that immediate reaction like, oh, I love the game. I got to play or watch the show. Like I don't have that feeling because I couldn't. It's more of a Sony exclusives. Generally, are really really good games.
It shows The Last of Us is available on Steam, Joe. So
the first one is now. Yeah,
lie to me.
No, it is now. But they were PlayStation.
Oh, that was
exclusive.
a good show.
So.
What?
Don't lie to me.
Lie to me. Lie to me.
Oh yeah, that's a great show.
It's not based on a video game.
Ended way too soon though. I love that show. Darla likes that show a lot too.
I don't know that.
Yeah, my girlfriend watched it. I don't watch shows.
If we ever did a
Roth, Jennifer Beals.
Yeah, if we ever did a Wednesday one shot on that, I might be able to even get Darla to be on for that.
Ooh.
Just FYI.
I might have to rewatch a couple episodes. It's been a while.
All right.
It's been a while.
So promotion time. Joe, you got anything going on this weekend? You got a Joe Gonzalez Live?
I think I do. I'm not traveling this weekend, so I should be on Oz's Clubhouse tomorrow.
Cool.
On the Ostradamus Toys channel. So feel free to drop in. Usually a good time. Always a good time.
Beautiful.
If I'm there, we're having fun, right?
That's true. And if you are in the Cabal and you haven't seen Joe's episode on Legion's Lair, that's still available on Facebook in the Cabal. He was also just recently on Legion's Lounge, which I almost made him miss because we were running late on our recording, and I didn't realize he had to get somewhere. And then I got done with Joe, and I went over to the couch and I turned on the TV. I'm like, "Here, there's Joe again."
So somebody, I got a text while we were recording, but
Yeah.
I didn't really look at it, because we were recording.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we were done, I checked my text, and it was Trevor, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to be on the show?" And I was like, "I'm in." So yeah, it was.
And then you said, "Yeah, but Curtis has to come with me." Right. And then he said, "Well, we only have room for one." And you couldn't, but you tried to take me, but you just couldn't. Right.
I only say nice things about you when you're not around, Curtis.
Gotcha.
Just for the record. Yeah. I mean,
so that's Joe and all the places you can find him. Dooch, what's going on with Legends of Grayskull? You guys got anything coming up?
Not right now. But we'll get back there for sure.
Okay. If you need anybody to sit in on anything, I'm game. Let me know.
Yeah,
I don't play hard to get. So
yeah, and that's what's coming down to right now is scheduling. So
okay,
but we'll get back in the groove.
Well, if you need me, I'm available pretty much anytime. So just let me know.
Fair enough.
Jesse,
you're Curtis. You're totally gonna invite me to go on.
Oh, absolutely. You. I would say I'm not doing it without Joe for sure.
Gosh, I hate to be left. Yeah,
of course. Jesse. Well, we had a Wednesday one shot this week, which was which one did we have this week?
It was you and Joe.
The Baldur's Gate. Yep. And we've got a couple more that are going. So check those out on Wednesdays. It's little 15 minutes stuff that we're recommending. Nothing that we're don't like or critical of or any of that. So if you see that we've got a video, just know that we like it. And if you want to know why, watch and they're pretty quick. So we got a few more of those coming up. What about this Sunday? What you want to tell the folks about what we got going on this
Sunday
week?
night? We got Chris Brennan on Shooting the Shelf, aka War Weasel, over on Instagram, talking about all his awesome Battle Beasts customs. So I'm sure Curtis will be happier than a whatever Southern analogy you want to make there. Not saying you're Southern, but my metaphors were all getting mixed up, so it was just going to come out as gobbledygook. So I didn't follow through with the thought.
It's too bad Dooch isn't paying attention because there was Southern anal right there, and he just totally missed it. Damn it.
We're trying to wrap it up. I could go 30 minutes on Southern anal, but I was going to let it slide this time.
I bet you could go on Southern anal. Yes, I will be on tomorrow on I will be on Purple Gang tomorrow. They have I believe they're going to have Jason on to talk about AWOC, and they're finishing up their latest Kickstarter. And then also they've got Dirk on to talk about the contest that he was just running. So that should be a lot of fun. So check out Purple Gang live tomorrow. I will be in the background as always until I hear Code Lavender. Also tomorrow, I hear we do have a Saturday Day Live. I believe that's at 6. And I think Eurolegions, I saw that they're going live tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're doing something. What did they say they had? I think they had a contest or something too. I don't know, but they're going live tomorrow. Check it out. If you're a Patreon
they're giving
member,
away an ogre, right?
There's a Patreon giveaway, and then there's like a live viewer giveaway. So
yeah, it says Jordan said tomorrow 3 p.m. So there you go, Patreon giveaway
Eastern time.
And if you're not, listen, here's what I'll say: if you like Legions and you're looking for a Patreon to contribute to, they do the most for their Patreon people of anybody that I've seen that does a Patreon. Okay, I just want to throw that out there because there's a lot of folks out there that my wife is going to kill me, that they are quick to take your money, but they're not really giving you anything extra. They're not providing anything for your money. Those Eurolegions guys, they have a full Discord with all kinds of different categories. It's active all the time. If somebody comments in there, John is really quick to go in and comment and like and whatever. They've been doing giveaways. They've been doing extra episodes. They do an early release on their actual episodes. So it is one of the most bang for your buck Patreons that I can recommend. So just FYI. And I think that's everything. Maybe. Stay tuned because we will be getting back to Have You Evers. They will not be part of our normal off-world, but we will have separate episodes with them. We're going to start recording some and get a little bit of a backlog of them saved up, and then we'll try to start releasing them maybe every week or every other week. We'll see how that goes. So stay tuned. Have You Evers are not dead like God's Fire. They will be back, and we're gonna do some talking about it right after we leave you folks here. So, and until next time,
sounds like a good time.
There you go. See you guys next time on the OffWorld. Wrong one.